Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of the All You Need to Know About the Disney Cruise Line. Now in this 2-part mini vlog series type thing, I'm going to break down all the information that you need to know in order to make the most out of your next vacation on board the Disney Cruise Line. Now in part 1, we talked about a lot of different important things: staterooms, destinations, special itineraries, and dining. If you would like to check that out, you can find it right about here in the I button in the corner. Now, just like last week, I'm going to break down the video into general topics, and I'm going to go into details talking about each and every one. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to go into my thoughts and what I recommend. Now, the first category that we're going to get into is activities and entertainment. Now, this category is going to be very long, so I didn't include things like relaxing in the pool deck or in the nightclubs and lounges, things like that. I included it in their own separate category in order to not overwhelm this category and make it like 3 hours long. Now, the first activity that I wanted to talk about was the mustard drill. No, not mustard, mustard. Now, although it isn't a fun and entertaining activity like the other things that I'm going to talk about in a little while, but it is very important, and it is a mandatory safety drill that you need to go to. Now, if you look at your Key to the World card, you're going to see this big letter down here. Do you see mine? Mine says M. Now, what does that mean? That is my category for my safety section in Deck 4. Now, I know that, talking about emergency scenarios and things like that, it's not a fun thing to talk about when you're on vacation, but it is important to keep it in mind, and Disney always prioritizes your safety over everything else. Also, this drill is required by US Coast Guard and international law, so if you do not attend, Disney has every right to disembark you from the ship without a refund. Now, the drill itself is about 30 minutes long, and here they're going to tell you everything that you need to know in case of an emergency. How to put on your safety jacket, where your lifeboat is, how to get into the lifeboat, all of those things. They break it down in order to make sure that you are prepared in case of, God forbid, a tragedy. But enough talking about the boring mustard drill and emergencies and all of that. Let's get to the fun stuff. Now, the first actual activity that I want to talk about is the deck party that happens right after the mustard drill. Now, Mickey's Sailing Away Party in the Dream and the Fantasy, or Mickey's Sail Away Party on the Wonder and Magic, is a fun deck party that celebrates you sailing away. You're gonna have the Fab Five coming out, greeting the guests, singing, dancing. You're gonna be right alongside an awesome entertainment crew. It's gonna be a really awesome time, trust me. Man, in my cruise, they sing a song, the Sailing Away song, and just listen to this. It is so catchy. I mean, it's been stuck on my head for months now. I mean, there are times where it just gets stuck in my head and I'll be singing, "We are sailing, sailing away," for just hours and hours, days even. I mean, it just gets like stuck in your brain, and it's never gonna get out of there. Another awesome thing that happens in the Sailing Away or Sail Away party is that you hear the ship's foghorn for the first time. Now, that is an awesome, epic feature of the Disney Cruise Line. Listen to this. It's amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, I watched a lot of cruise vlogs before going on my cruise, so I already knew it was coming. But hearing it real life, oh my god, I mean, I almost cried when I heard it. I mean, I've already seen the Sailing Away party. I've heard that foghorn a million times, but just being there, watching the party, I mean, I'm gonna cry right now. Another awesome activity that could be found on all itineraries that take you to the Caribbean or the Bahamas is Pirate Night. Now, here you're gonna have an incredibly awesome and swashbuckling time, because trust me, your inner pirate will come out. Now, Pirate Night will happen sometime in your vacation. You'll just have to check your itinerary to see when it is. For example, in my 7-night Western Caribbean cruise, our Pirate Night was the same day that we docked in Falmouth, Jamaica. So when will all the pirate activities start happening? Typically around the afternoon and night. So for me, I was docked in Falmouth, Jamaica, so our pirate activities didn't start happening until after we set sail and left Falmouth. But once it starts, I mean, it is so awesome. I mean, they shift the music, so like in the beginning of the day, you were hearing, Jamaican reggae music going on around the ship. But then once Pirate Night started, all you were hearing was that Pirates of the Caribbean theme and pirate music. It was awesome. The characters come out dressed up in pirates. I mean, meeting Pirate Stitch was one of the highlights of my entire cruise. It was awesome. You also get to meet Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't think I saw him, but don't worry. I was able to meet Captain Hook and Mr. Smee, so I still met one pirate. I mean, even me, I dressed up all piratey and it was awesome. I mean, me and my family, we had special Pirate Night shirts. They give out bandanas, so when your stateroom host comes and cleans up your room, he leaves bandanas for Pirate Night for everyone in your family. And then I put on my bandana. I even had eyeliner on. I mean, I was going all out. And I mean, you truly feel like you're a pirate sailing the seven seas. Then at night, you have 2 deck shows. One where you learn how to join Mickey's pirate crew, and another where you have pirates just singing along, having a great time. Then Captain Jack comes, you join his crew, and then you get your fireworks, which are just spectacular. I mean, I was expecting less fireworks. I wasn't expecting that much. The fireworks were awesome. And in terms of dining, you're gonna have a special Pirate Night menu in your main dining rotation, and then after the fireworks, Cabanas opens for a special Pirate Night dinner. Now, I was way too full to give the buffet a try. I mean, the buffet happens after the fireworks, and the pirate show happens immediately after me and my family, we had dinner, so the second dining rotation. It was a lot of food. I mean, I walked around just check out what it was. It looked really good, it looked awesome, but I was way too full. Another awesome thing that happened for me and my family was that we had Animator's Palette as our main dining room for Pirate Night, and that is the place to be. I mean, all around the restaurant, you have paintings and drawings of Pirates of the Caribbean, different pirate themed movies. I mean, Treasure Planet gets some love, love that it deserves. So that is already a plus, and it is amazing. Now, another special event, kind of like Pirate Night, that I wanted to talk about was one that they do on the Wonder and the Magic. This is a Frozen deck party. Now here, it is a full day of Frozen. You get character meet and greets, you have a special dinner, you have a special stage show. It looks really cool, and it's only on the Magic and the Wonder, and it is only available on select cruises. Now let's talk about amazing, awesome entertainment that you can find. Let's start with the Walt Disney Theater. Here you're gonna find some amazing Broadway caliber shows and other awesome entertainment. Now, when I mean Broadway caliber shows, I mean Broadway caliber shows. They have some musicals that are just simply spectacular. Each Disney ship has their own special musical off a Disney film, except for the Fantasy, which has 2. On the Magic, you have Tangled, the musical. On the Wonder, you have Frozen Musical Spectacular. On the Dream, you have Beauty and the Beast. And in the Fantasy, you have Aladdin and Frozen. Now, these shows are simply spectacular. When I was on the Fantasy, I watched Aladdin and Frozen, and both were amazing. Now, in terms of the movies, I prefer Aladdin over Frozen, but that Broadway Frozen show was amazing. The special effects were mind-blowing. Still, to this day, I'm still thinking about that umbrella at the end. If you've seen the show, you might know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure that was like some form of sorcery or something. I don't know, there was some magic in there. Now, there are other shows that are Broadway caliber level as well that are exclusive to the Disney Cruise Line, and they're not just musicals of Disney films, such as the Disney Believe, Disney Dreams, and the Golden Mickeys. Now, in the Fantasy, I saw Disney Believe, and it was amazing. I absolutely love that show. And I do recommend watching every single show that there is in the Walt Disney Theater. Now, not every day you're gonna have a Broadway style level show. Sometimes you might have a magician or a comedian or things like that to fill in the gaps. For example, I had a magician called Eric Jones. Now, he's been on Penn and Teller Fool Us. Now, if you don't know Penn and Teller, they're world-renowned magicians, and they have a show where magicians from all over the world come and they try to fool them. He fooled them with his coin tricks, and I can tell you this, after seeing it like firsthand, I could see why. I mean, the guy's a wizard. Me and my family, we also had a special screening of Frozen 2. Now, you're not gonna know what you're gonna get, so I do suggest looking into the Disney app and checking out which shows you have in the Walt Disney Theater. I would also like to talk about the Lake Buena Vista Theater. Now, unlike the Walt Disney Theater, which is, an auditorium and a stage, the Lake Buena Vista Theater is a movie theater where they show different movies throughout the cruise. And here you're gonna have some amazing movies being shown. I mean, on our cruise, we had Frozen 2 showing, we had some Marvel movies going, Maleficent 2 was showing, so there are a lot of things. Another really cool thing about the Lake Buena Vista Theater is that if there is a premiere of a Disney movie on land, they will premiere it as well on the cruise ship. So you could catch a movie premiere while you're sailing in the middle of the ocean, which is awesome. Another awesome thing about entertainment are the live musicians and entertainers throughout the ship. You're gonna have amazing musicians that are incredibly talented, playing throughout the ship at all times. Now, they could be found in the adult lounges, which we'll get to soon, and they could also be in the atrium playing music for everyone. It is spectacular. I mean, I would sit down, listen to them for some time, and it's truly amazing. Now, all throughout the ship and in the night lounges, which we'll get to that in a little later, you're going to find different smaller activities and entertainment such as trivia, karaoke. For example, my sister, look at this. She went to an animation class and she drew Olaf. So you don't know what you're going to get and what's available. So make sure to check either the app or the personal navigator. Now, I know I've said the app already and the navigator just now. I want to go into that a little bit. This right here is your personal navigator. So here it's kind of like a schedule and it breaks down everything that's going on throughout the day. Now the personal navigators, the paper themselves, are just one day, so you'd have to go to guest services every day in order to get a brand new one. They used to deliver it to your room, but they don't do that anymore. Now you can find the schedule for the entire day on the mobile app of the phone. Now you need to have the app downloaded before you set sail, and it does not take up any Wi-Fi. Now me right now, I cannot personally access any of the things that are going on the ship. You need to be on the ship physically in order for all the things to come out. Now on the app, you do have a lot of benefits. Not only do they have the schedule, you could also communicate with your family members at any time. So you could text message them. Maybe you want to meet up somewhere. Hey, just send them a message. Hey, we're gonna meet up here. Awesome. That way you don't need to use up any data and get killed with those international rates. Now, I'll tell you this, although I do like how the personal navigator looks and I like having everything all spaced out in front of me so I can see what's going on, I did like using the app. The app was actually very convenient and you could favorite the events that you wanted to see and it'll be the first things that come out. So I do highly suggest getting the app. Now I wanted to talk about the character meet and greets. Now there are character meet and greets all over the ship. You can find characters walking around, but the main action is found in the atrium of the ship. Now, in the personal navigator and on the app, you can find which characters are going to meet where and at what time. I have to say, those character interactions are some of the best character interactions you're going to have. They're awesome. They're really cool. They're dressed up beautifully. I mean, one of my favorite ones was being able to meet Mickey right in front of the Walt Disney Theater sign. So I was meeting Mickey with a picture of Walt Disney right behind us. That's actually now my profile picture here on YouTube and on Instagram. Now let's talk about sports. I'm a huge sports fan, so the sports deck was absolutely awesome, and all 4 ships do have their own sports deck. On the Magic and the Wonder, it's called the Wide World of Sports deck, and on the Dream and the Fantasy, it's called Goofy Sports deck. And here you're gonna find basketball, you're gonna find foosball, you're gonna find ping pong. On the Dream and the Fantasy, you're gonna have mini golf, which is a lot of fun. I spent a lot of time here, even though it does get really hot in the middle of the ocean, and there's like not much cover in the sports deck. It was totally worth going, playing some games of mini golf, playing some foosball with my brother. It was awesome. Now another thing that they have on Goofy Sports deck on the Dream and the Fantasy is Goofy Sports Simulator. Now unlike all the other activities that you can find on Goofy Sports deck, this does come at an additional charge. Now for the Sports Simulator, you have 2 main categories, golf and sports. Golf is golf and it looks like an epic, awesome thing. And then in the other things, you have simulations of soccer, baseball, basketball, football, and hockey. The prices are as follow. 30 minutes for sports, it's $13. 30 minutes of golf, it's $28. For 1 hour of sports, it's $22. And for 1 hour of golf, it is $49. Now yes, the golf is more expensive, but honestly, in my opinion, the golf looks far more epic than any of the other sports. Now, on top of the sports deck, you can also find a running track and shuffleboard on deck 4 on all 4 ships. Now, the last special activity that I wanted to talk about was the Midship Detection Agency found on the Dream and the Fantasy. Now here, you're going to help out Mickey, Goofy, and Donald solve a crime. There are different crimes, and for each one you are given this pamphlet, which gives you a map of the different paintings that you need to go to. And they also give you this key, which you just scan, put it right in front, and then you move it around in order to look what you need to find in the paintings. Now, they also give you a section to write notes and a list of suspects. I would show you, but there are spoilers on it and I wouldn't want to spoil anything for anyone. I want you guys to solve it yourself. The Midship Detection Agency is a lot of fun and a great way to spend time with your family. But I do have to give you a warning here. It is a lot of walking. I mean, you walk back and forth across the ship. It's not just in the midship, it's everywhere. It's beautifully spread out and you will be walking for a long time. I mean, you're gonna end up tired after this, I promise. Right, now let's move on to the pools. Now the pools are a huge part of cruising because it is a great way to just sit back, relax. Maybe you want to be in the pool, watch a movie in funnel vision, things like that. It's amazing. Let's talk about it. Now on the Wonder and Magic, you're going to find the main pool deck on deck 9. It's a really large pool where everyone will gather around and then you can watch a movie in funnel vision. Now the main pool deck for the Dream and the Fantasy is located on deck 11 and has Mickey and Donald pool. Now I know there are 2 pools on the Dream and the Fantasy and only 1 on the Wonder and Magic, but both of the pools are a lot smaller than the one on the Wonder and the Magic. It's kind of confusing, I don't know why they did that, but there is a lot more space to walk around in the deck 11 ship instead of just having one large pool in the middle of it all. Now all these main pools are right in front of funnel vision, and funnel vision is one of my favorite things of all time. It's a large movie screen where they project movies throughout the entire day. Yes, it's awesome. I mean, and like I said in part 1, I mean, you go to like one of the quick service places, get some chicken tenders, sit down in the pool chairs, look up at funnel vision, just sit back and relax. Yeah, that is the way to spend the cruise. Now there are like splash zones and water playgrounds located on the ships for the little ones. In the Dream and the Fantasy, you have Nemo's Reef, and on the Magic, Wonder, and Fantasy, you have the Aqua Reef. Now let's move on to where the adrenaline comes in. Now we're talking about the Aqua Dunk or the Aqua Duck. The Aqua Dunk is found on the Magic, and the Aqua Duck is found in the Dream and the Fantasy. Sadly, the Wonder doesn't have any. Now both are awesome giant water slides that take you all around the main pool deck and give you some awesome views of the ship and the ocean. The only big difference is that in the Aqua Dunk, you yourself get dunked, while in the Aqua Duck you have a giant pool floater. Now let's move on to Quiet Cove. Quiet Cove is the adult-only pool section on the main pool deck, and it is relaxing, quiet, and awesome. You're gonna find Quiet Cove pool and jacuzzis. Now the jacuzzis are... oh yeah, they have like little windows on the floor, so while you're relaxing in the hot tub, you could look down and look into the ocean in the bottom. Kind of scary, but kind of cool as well. Now here in Quiet Cove is where you're gonna find Cove Cafe. Now Cove Cafe does deserve to be mentioned multiple times because it is an awesome place. Sit back, relax, and drink some amazing coffee. Now one final thing about the main pool deck is that this is where you're gonna find cabanas, and you're also gonna find ice cream, you're gonna find the specialty ice cream shops, and you're also gonna find the quick service places. So yeah, like those pool decks, they're jam-packed, they're awesome. It's probably where you're gonna spend most of your day. Now the final pool section that I wanted to talk about was Satellite Falls. Now Satellite Falls is only on the Dream and the Fantasy, and it is located on deck 13 in the front of the ship. Here you're gonna have like a little small pool inside the satellite transmitters, and I mean there's like a little waterfall and everything. It's a great place to relax for a little bit, and it gives you some amazing views of the ocean. Before we move on to the lounges and clubs, I wanted to quickly mention Senses Spa. Senses Spa is where you're gonna get, massages, you're gonna have awesome relaxation. Prices do vary depending on what you get, but I do recommend trying out the Rainforest Room. A Rainforest Room is a great place to just relax. They have like themed showers and it looks absolutely cool. Now let's move on to the adult lounges and youth clubs, but first we're gonna talk about the adult lounges because it's awesome. Those are the places to be. Now, throughout the day, it's typically for families and they're gonna host a lot of different events such as trivia, karaoke, and things like that. They even put away the alcohol for the little kids. But during the night, it does become adult only and it becomes the places to be because it is just simply spectacular. It's beautiful, it's awesome. There's music playing, whether it's through a speaker or the live musicians are playing there as well. It becomes amazing, and trust me, you wanna check them out. Now each ship has their own individual adult lounges except for a couple of exceptions, and the list is as follows. On the Magic, you're gonna find Fathoms, Keys, Promenade Lounge, and O'Gill's Pub. On the Wonder, you're gonna find French Quarter Lounge, Crown and Fin Pub, Cadillac Lounge, and Azure. On the Dream, you're gonna have the Skyline Lounge, the District Lounge, Pink, Evolution, and Pub 687. And on the Fantasy, you're gonna have the Skyline Lounge, O'Gill's Pub, La Piazza, Ooh La La, and the Tube. There is also the D Lounge. Now D Lounge is like the main hub of lounges, and that is where most of the activities are gonna go down. That is where you're gonna have big trivia, karaoke events, things like that. And it is located on all 4 ships. There is also the Meridian Lounge found on the Dream and the Fantasy. Now the Meridian Lounge is located between Paulo and Remy, and it is very, very quiet. I mean, when I went there weren't many people inside. I mean, if there were people at all. It's incredible, and it's a nice place to go if you want some quiet and escape the large crowds. Now, two other places that I wanted to mention were more bars rather than lounges, but I did want to mention them. First, you have Bon Voyage. Bon Voyage is located on all 4 ships, is located on the atrium, and it is a place where you're going to go get some drinks and all of that. Now, the other bar that I wanted to talk about was either Current on the Dream and the Wonder or Signal on the Wonder and Magic. Now, either one is located in the adult-only section, with Signal being located in Quiet Cove directly, and Currents in the Dream and the Fantasy located on Deck 13 overlooking Quiet Cove. Now let's move on to a very important section. Now, I do consider this very important, especially for families. It's the youth clubs. Now, the youth clubs are an amazing place to be for the little ones. And I know it could be a little hard to, just let them go. But believe me, it's amazing. There's a lot of activities. They're being constantly supervised. And the crew members that are there are amazing people. And they're fun. They're active. They're always engaging with the little ones. And they're going to have an amazing, wonderful time. First one that I wanted to talk about was It's a Small World Nursery. Now, this nursery is for the kids between the ages of 6 and 3 years old. Now, unlike the other youth clubs, this one does need to be booked in advance and it does cost money. The pricing is as follows: $4.50 per half an hour for your first child, plus $4 per half an hour for additional children. Now let's talk about the Oceaneers Lab and Oceaneers Club, which are for kids aged 3 to 12. Trust me, they're gonna have an incredibly awesome time here. I mean, there are awesome themed rooms like Toy Story, Star Wars, Marvel. They have, there's like a game where you could drive the ship. I spent, no lie, 30 to 40 minutes driving that ship trying to dock it in Castaway Key, and I couldn't. That's what happens when it's like literally the first time I'm playing and I go for the hardest difficulty. I spent 30, 40 minutes trying to get it, but I couldn't. Getting it next time though, I am. They also have movie rooms, they have board games and video games, they have activities going on all the time. It is a great and awesome place. Now, you could either pre-register before your cruise, or you could register your child on embarkation day in guest services. After you have registered your children, they'll be receiving a wristband which allows them to enter the club and the lab. And if you would like to check out the area for yourself, I would suggest looking out for an open house which allows you to go in, explore, check out what there is to offer. Now let's talk about Edge, and this is the Tweens Club, alright? These are for kids aged between 11 and 14. Here there's dance floor, there are movie rooms, there's a lot of events going on, and trust me, your tween will have a great time. Now, I didn't go into Edge, I never went to one of their open houses, but I did kind of peek in when I was doing my ship tour, and it looks like a lot of fun. The Vibe is a teens club on board the ship. It is for kids aged between 14 and 17. Now, the Vibe, I did go. I went multiple times for open house because that place is awesome. First off, there's like a rainbow tunnel that leads you into Vibe. There are cool like automatic doors that open. It's cool. It's awesome. Then you go inside, there are TV rooms, there's a snack and smoothie bar. They have like giant screens where you could play Smash. They show movies. And on the Dream and the Fantasy, they have their own pool deck. The kids clubs are awesome, and the little ones are gonna have an amazing time, regardless of which one they go to. That is everything that the ship has to offer and everything that you can find around the ship. Now, you're enjoying your time, you're having fun, and you already know that you wanna come back. Great. There are perks to booking a cruise on board the ship. Now, if you decide to book another cruise while being on board your ship, you get a 10% discount, and you only have to give 10% as a down payment, except for the 20% that you usually do. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, man, I really do want to come back. I know I'm going to come back, but I don't have the money for a down payment. No problem. Disney has you covered with this. Now, what placeholders do is you give a $250 fee, which does end up going into your down payment, and you get to keep the benefits of you booking on board the ship after you get off. Now, these placeholders are good for any cruise 2 years after you got the placeholder. Now, this is what me and my family did, but me and my family, we kind of did it differently because we got the placeholder while we were on the ship. We gave the $250. Then as soon as we got off the ship, we passed by Dreams Unlimited, which is the travel agency that we used. So we stopped by and we booked it. It was like an hour after we got off the ship. So yeah. Now, if you know for a fact you want to go on another cruise, trust me, Disney's got your back if you do not have the money for the down payment immediately. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, hey, you got everything done with, we're out of the ship, we got our placeholder, we experienced everything, we're done. Not yet. There's one more thing that we need to talk about, and that is Castaway Club. Castaway Club is the cruise line's loyalty program, and it is awesome. As of right now, me and my family, we're Silver Castaway Club members, which are the lowest member. We'll break it down now, but you might be thinking to yourself, how do you become a Disney Castaway Club member? Simple. Go on a cruise. The minute that you step off the ship, you are already a Castaway Club member. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to sign up. You are automatically a Castaway Club member. And being a Castaway Club member, you do get a lot of awesome benefits. Now, there are 3 levels to Castaway Club: Silver, Gold, and Platinum. Now, all 3 levels have general benefits, and they have their own individual unique benefits. Let's go into that. Now, 3 benefits that all Castaway Club members have is that they have their own members-only check-in at the port, they get gifts in their room, and they get their own lanyards. Now, the lanyards depend on which color you are. You get a silver one for silver, gold, and platinum for platinum Castaway Club members. The welcome aboard gift is also a little bit different depending on which level you are, but in general, it is a gift that you get for just simply going on cruises before. Now, like I said before, you do become a Silver Castaway Club member after your first cruise. The minute you step off, you're a Castaway Club member. Now, the benefits that Silver members get is that you get the itinerary releases one day before the general public does. So let's say brand new itineraries are coming out for the next year, you get it one day before. People that have never been to a Disney cruise get it. You also get to do online booking of activities on board the ship 90 days in advance rather than the regular 75 for non-Castaway Club members. Now, you become a Gold Castaway Club member after going on 5 Disney cruises. So you step off your 5th cruise, you're a Gold Castaway Club member. What benefits do you get? Well, you get your itineraries released 2 days before the general public and 1 day before Silver Castaway Club members. And you get to do your online booking 105 days in advance rather than the 75 for the general public. You also get a special reception on board, you get early access to port arrival times, and you also get a special discount on board the ship. Now, Platinum Castaway Club members. It is my dream to reach Platinum level in Castaway Club because it is just awesome. So you get all the same benefits that the Gold members do, right? You get your itineraries released 3 days before the general public, meaning you get the itineraries before anyone else. You also get to do online booking 120 days in advance before your cruise. Now, the only other people that have 120 days in advance to book their activities online are those staying in concierge level rooms. But besides that, you are the first people to book anything on board. Not only that, you also get priority check-in. You check in the concierge area, and you are the first Castaway Club members to step on board right after the concierge level people go in. You also get a complimentary dinner at Palo, which, whoa, whoa. So those are all the benefits that you get as Castaway Club members just by simply going on cruises before. Now, let me give you my thoughts on everything that we talked about today. In terms of activities and entertainment, you will never be bored a single minute on board the ship. Whether it's relaxing at the pool and things like that, or hearing music, watching a show on the Walt Disney Theater, checking out a movie, there's so much to do and there's so much awesome things to check out that you will never be bored. And those shows on the Walt Disney Theater, I would go to again and again and again and again because it's just simply spectacular. Trust me when I'm telling you, do not miss out on those shows. You will regret it. Now, the pool decks are absolutely amazing. Me personally, I did avoid the family pool area a lot, and I did spend a lot of time in the adult only section, mainly Satellite Falls. Satellite Falls is just amazing, awesome place to relax. The jacuzzis are amazing. Cove Cafe, don't even get me started again. Cove Cafe is spectacular. Now, Sunset Spa, I would love to give the Rainforest Room a try, but it's not in the top of my priority list. It's something that I could skip over and over and over again, and honestly, I wouldn't be affected by it. Now, in terms of the adult lounges, I loved every single one. My favorite one was the Skyline Lounge. Skyline Lounge was simply beautiful and spectacular. They had the skylines of different major cities in the world. It's beautiful, and I could spend hours in there. Now, the youth clubs, vibe, epic. Now, me, I was kind of jealous that those kids get so awesome things. I mean, I'm like, I'm 17. I'm not, but it was so awesome. And trust me, check out the open houses so you could go and chill out and play some Smash and things like that. It's amazing. Now, the Placeholder, I do highly recommend it because you put down a $250 deposit and you could potentially save thousands of dollars on your upcoming cruise. Now, whether you know which cruise you're going to get or not, it doesn't matter. If you know for a fact that you're going to go back in the next 2 years, I highly recommend getting that placeholder. And then Castaway Club, I mean, there's not much to say. You get awesome benefits just simply by going on the cruise. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the Disney Cruise Line and what you think about the things that we talked about today. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you enjoyed today's video, smash that like button and hit subscribe. I upload a brand new video every Wednesday. Thank you for being part of the Disney family, and see you real soon.